welcome to the Change by the Flame YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us, where we desire to enhance, equip, and educate our coffee family, and that's you. So if you've taken the time to watch this, I want to say thanks. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. So I'm going to jump right into it right now. Our focus today, we're starting a new series, and it's called the Arise series, which is a pretty cool thing we're doing. It's a coffee blend that we've had for a while. It was called Rise and Shine. And for all of those who have kind of watched the previous films or YouTubes, or you've gotten to know me, or we've had some conversations, you know that our blends are all connected to missional purposes. So anytime you buy a blend from us, it's connected to a missional purpose. And what does that mean? That means 7% of all revenue, not profit, but every time you buy a bag, 7% of that is going to be given to a particular organization quarterly. And forgive me, I'm not going to try to make this thing perfect. I'm just going to be real with you guys. And what I want to do is I want to enhance your coffee experience. So what are we doing today? We're going to take our Rise blend, pow, kind of little peekaboo. We're going to take our Rise blend, we're going to brew some up. And so I'm just going to go through a simple process of using the Clever Dripper. So what we're going to do is going to brew up some Rise, bam, peekaboo again, and we're going to be using the Clever Dripper here and just giving a few pointers on how to do it. I don't want you scared. I don't want you timid. And that's where our audience is. That's who we aim for. So we're going to do our best in here to create an exquisite coffee, and then try to keep it simple for you guys and give you some parameters to either go deeper and try to experiment with a few other variables, or even just keep it simple and enjoy that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. First, what you want to do is you want to weigh out the proper amount. I'm going to start with a particular ratio, but you can play with it, and I'll explain what playing with it will actually do in the cup. So first, I'm going to make sure my kettle is heating up. I do recommend you use a particular water source that is not distilled water. If you have to buy water from the store, I want you to buy spring water, because it still has those physical properties in it that can take the coffee, the parts of the coffee that we're extracting through brewing, and it can have something to grab a hold of so that that cup can be full of flavor and full of character. Now that we've got the the water heating up, you can tell I'm new to this, but now that we got the water heating up, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my Akai Pearl scale. Not a plug, but man, what a great scale. And I got some pre-tinned Arise. So we're going to do, to start off, we're going to do 25 grams. Of coffee. You're going to see me do some things that you may not be able to do, and we can work around that. The comment section below is for any type of questions you may have that I can help assist, make your current coffee situation work the best it can, and then also maybe add some suggestions on what you need to add to your coffee gear to enhance that experience. So I got 25 grams here. I'm going to take it to the grinder. We got our Malconic EK43 grinder. We're going to go ahead. I would recommend purging a few beans before you grind your particular cup you're about to brew, in case you're the type of person that enjoys multiple coffees at home. We want to purge that grinder from any type of previous coffees, previous oils that may have been sitting there and they've kind of died in their character. I'm going to get that through and get to the good stuff. Be right back. So you want to throw your lid or reseal your bag, whether you bought a bag from us and you have the resealable zipper tie, or if you have this pretty cool degas valve. If you're ever in the roastery, ask us about it. We can get you one. You want to get it sealed back up to protect it against oxygen. Sorry for the noise. Some of the biggest factors that can work against the freshness and the longevity of your coffee is going to be sunlight, oxygen, and heat. So you want to make sure you're storing it in a room temperature area, also away from direct sunlight or direct light, and you want to have the bag sealed to protect it against oxygen. So this still here is our Arise. Our Arise is going to be a blend between an Ethiopian fully washed coffee. Right now it's a Guji Ethiopian fully washed. And then we have two Colombians in there. One is a fully natural Colombian, and the other is a fully washed Colombian. So you may hear some noise in the background. We're getting ready for the market this weekend. So bear with us, but stay with me. So I have my 25 grams weighed out. What kind of grind that I use to start off with on the Clever Dripper is going to be slightly coarser than your normal drip grind. This is a full immersion method that it kind of presents itself in a pour over setup. What it's going to do is going to provide similar characteristics to a French press, but it'll protect you from all the silt that typically comes out of a French press whenever you do brew it. So it gives you that same opportunity for a full body coffee, but with us being able to drain it clear through a filter, it's going to create a cleaner cup. And for this particular coffee, as you can see on here, hopefully you can see, we're not going to do much editing because we're just trying to get this info to you. You got floral, fruity, sweet, and smooth. That's what happens when you get old and you offer a whole bunch of coffee. Sometimes you can forget. Floral, fruity, sweet, and smooth. The reason why we kept it a little bit vague on the tasting notes is because we rotate in different coffees throughout the year, but this is the profile that we are going to be hitting each time. So let me go ahead and get this going. I got 25 grams here. I got my Clever Dripper. We're going to go ahead and get our filter. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and fold on that edge, so we have a perfect shape that can fit down into our Clever Dripper. Until you sit this on a cup, it will not drain. That's the benefit of it. So we can actually sit it here, but we are going to sit it on our on our carafe, so that we can clean the filter. So we sit it on top, preheating the filter and cleaning in the glass, and cleaning the filter gets some of that papery taste off of your coffee. We only want to taste that good stuff. That good stuff. So now we have a little bit of water in our carafe to preheat it, so there's not a huge change in temperature once we start brewing into it. When I lift this up, you may hear a little click. That's basically locking in the bottom. Nothing is going to come out the bottom. We'll leave this in here for now. Trying to protect this beautiful table that we had made by Mercy Goods out in Richmond, Texas. Check them out, Mercy Goods. I'll drop a link in the section below. So if you're interested in any type of woodwork, tables, they have an awesome mission. Go check them out. So now we have our pre-wet filter. We've cleaned it. We put it on the Kai and we tare. I highly recommend using a scale, because if we use scoops, we'll have uneven portions, because different coffees have different densities. So the same scoop's going to weigh different. And the way we can keep it all on the same scale is we're weighing water, we're weighing coffee. That way we have a repeatable process that we're able to do. So the next step, what we're going to do here is we're going to tear out our scale, and then we're going to add our coffee grounds to the Clever Dripper. I would encourage you to be as precise as you can. Right now we're sitting at 25.8, but I'm going to go ahead and get a spoon so I can get it down to exactly 25. Once I have my coffee grounds on the scale and I'm at my 25 grams, I'm going to go ahead and hit the tare button. It gets me down to 0. These scales are so sensitive. It's crazy, but it's a good thing. You want to make sure you have your lid close by. You want to make sure you have your spoon clean and available. I would use a rag or napkin. Try to keep your area clean and wipe off the spoon. We're going to use that later in the process. I'm going to grab my kettle, and we're going to go and begin to add 400 grams of water. This is an easy jumping off point for ratio that you can begin at. And we'll discuss if you're getting certain flavor attributes that you don't desire, or you can taste some potential but you want a little bit more of something, how to enhance that. So I'm going to grab my water, and I'm going to take this from 25 grams, which I've tared out. The coffee was 25 grams. I tared it to 0. I'm going to add 400 grams of water, and then we're going to begin the steeping portion. So what I like to do is go double the amount of weight that we put in for coffee first, and produce a bloom section where we're making sure that all the coffee grounds are getting wet. This will ensure that the remainder of the brewing process is a evenly distributed brew. Start my timer and start to pour. You can start in the middle and go in concentric circles from the middle to the outside and start over again. We're trying to go double the weight, so 25 times 2 is 50. Once we have our 50 grams in there, there's two things you can do. You can pick it up, kind of shake it around a little, like I do with the V60, or you can use your spoon and begin to stir. I'm going to keep the spoon clear and clean for a later portion of this brew. Now that we've reached 45 seconds for the bloom, we're going to go ahead and fill straight up. This isn't a normal pour over where you would give certain amount of pours for agitation. We're going to take it straight to 400 grams and then put our lid on.
Who this?
If you notice, I'm going in those concentric circles again, just to make sure that everything is getting wet, evenly distributed, evenly agitated by the water coming in. And as we get close to 400, I'll sit in the center to make sure I stop right at 400. 400.9, not bad. The key, guys, is don't be intimidated. Enjoy your coffee. Experiment with your coffee. Have fun with your coffee. Basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait till about 3 minutes. At 3 minutes, I'm going to give it a nice stir. After I stir, I'm going to put the lid back on for 30 more seconds, and then we'll begin what is called the drawdown. Now, you don't have to have a highly super expensive, not that it's super expensive, but it is a new cost. You don't have to have these fancy carafes. You can pull it into a cup that's big enough to hold, I would say 350 grams, because 400 grams of water coming into 25 grams of coffee, the coffee is going to hold some of that water weight. What's funny is as I'm talking, I got like this presentation voice, but I'm really a goofball if you get to know me. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share, and comment below if I missed something, or if you think I'm crazy, or maybe you have even a suggestion. We're all learning together. Or if you have some questions, I'd love to answer. So we're at 3 minutes. I'm going to take my spoon. I'm just going to give it about 3 spins one way, and then do 3 spins the opposite way. Sit the lid back on for 30 seconds, and then we're going to begin the drawdown. I got my super cool cup from San Francisco Roasters. Came with our SF25, which we have out there looking like a beauty right now. It's been 30 seconds. I'm going to take the lid off. We're going to take, as you can see, it's still not draining, guys. Isn't that cool? No mess, simple brew, delicious coffee. So we have tiered it. Really don't even need to. Matter of fact, we don't even need the scale anymore. We're just going to sit this to where the inside, where the container we're draining into sits on the inside of this lip, so that it begins to, as you can see, release the coffee. This typically can take anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. And this can also be a telltale sign if you made your grind too fine. If it takes a long time for it to drain, to draw down, and you're tasting some over-extracted flavors, sorry, I gotta, it smells so good. Get that jasmine blossom that we have coming from our Ethiopia. I get that puat. We get the berries coming from the fully natural Colombian. We got the sweet raisins and even a little bit of clove, a little slight clove in there coming from the other Colombian. Anyways, so if you taste an over-extracted cup of coffee and the drawdown is taking longer than a minute, then you know that your coffee is a little bit too fine. We would go back to the grinder and we would go ahead and loosen up or coarsen that grind. But I feel pretty confident that this cup is going to be pretty tasty. The reason why I'm brewing this with you is because I don't want you to be intimidated. And I want to share a brewing method that you may have not experienced. So we're just about done. Drawdown is just about complete, and watch how simple this is. I lift it up and it stops draining. Man, I'm gonna step away, throw away the filter. I do encourage that you keep all of your coffee equipment nice and clean because it can affect the next cup. I like to give it a little bit of swirl because coffee actually brews and extracts in different stages in different ways. So giving it a little swirl kind of intermingles those different flavors to create a uniform cup when you pour. Get your cup. Pour you up enough to get you going. If you have a partner with you, you got enough for them. Once it's done, you have a delicious cup of coffee. And I'm not going to act like I did it perfect the first time. If I was to adjust this, I would probably make the grind a little bit coarser because a coarser grind is going to highlight more of those brighter, fruitier citrus and that acidity, which is what I enjoy in a cup of coffee. I'm tasting a little bit more chocolate. Definitely getting that stone fruit and berry mingling that we have going on from the Ethiopian that has that plum and apricot hybrid, along with that strawberry blueberry that's coming from our fully natural Colombian. So you can actually pick up this Clever Dripper on our web store. We just dropped it on the web store. We only have about 20 in stock. Please grab them as they're there. Great Christmas gifts. It comes with the Clever Dripper that you just saw me brew with. If I can get this open without damaging it. It's going to come with a little bit of instructions, probably in a language you can't understand. It'll come with the Clever Dripper. It's going to come with 100 filters, along with your lid, a base to sit it on, and also with the brewing guide that I don't have next to me at the moment. Also, I highly recommend, if you don't have a grinder at home, you want to invest in a grinder. This is a great grinder to start with. It's a Baratza Encore grinder. It's one of the more cost-effective, entry-level home, just for typically slow pour grinders that you can get. We also carry these on our website, or you can come inside the lab and pick them up. So every time you purchase an Arise blend from us, 7% of revenue is going to support Arise Global. So I hope I may have calmed some of your nerves about brewing specialty coffee at home. I hope that some of our coffee geeks and nerds like myself maybe picked up a few tricks or may have a question for me. Once again, I'm not trying to get super detailed. I'm just trying to take off the edge of timidness and taking your coffee to the next level. As we grow and the YouTube channel continues to grow, we'll drop more content that's more detailed, like going into exactly what is the right grind, going into what happens when the temperature is higher or lower. But if you start with a good bag of beans and a decent grind with the water at the proper temperature, with spring water if you don't have maybe a reverse osmosis system, with the proper ratio, you should come out with something that is pretty tasty. So that's going to be it for today. Once again, comment below if you have any type of questions or if you have any suggestions, or maybe I missed something or I confused you, or you just want to connect. Comment below. Also like and follow our page. Subscribe to our page. And I got a surprise for next week. I won't reveal it, but we'll reveal what's in this box. It's going to be super cool, exciting, and it goes right along with our Rise series. So once again, we desire to enhance your experience, to educate you, and also maybe if I drink, I'll remember. Enhance, educate, and what else? Equip. See, I got a call. Oh, encourage, enhance, and educate. Had it wrong. But once again, we're gonna keep it raw. We're gonna keep it real here. Not trying to be perfect. Just like each cup of coffee. So enjoy, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.